When I was in Bali, I remember looking out of the window of the villa I was staying at, and I saw this amazing tree with this root structure that was kind of all over the yard. And I remembered a quote that I'd once read, and it was the actual quote. I'll read the quote was, "Stand still. The trees ahead and bush beside you are not lost." And when that quote came to mind, I thought about how we can sometimes feel really lost and we don't know what to do, what decision to make, where to go. And when I thought of that quote, I just thought that really nature doesn't make mistakes. Everything is perfectly placed, and wherever we are is wherever we're meant to be, and we're not truly lost. And nature shows us that, and that everything is just so perfectly placed. So I added a question, actually, it's at the beginning of the Bali section of my first book, Meditative Questions. And the question is the tree rooted beside you lost? And that question was really meant to inspire contemplation on that topic. So just yesterday, I got a message from someone on my website who came across the quote that I had seen so many years ago, and actually the quote that I saw then was attributed to Albert Einstein. And this kind person wrote to me that it was actually from a poem by David Wagner. And so I, of course, thanked the person, made the correction on the attribution of the quote. And I looked up the story of this person by the name of David Wagner. And it's apparently that quote comes from a poem. And the poem is called Lost. And I read that this poem was actually inspired by a Native American tribe who used these teachings for their children in case they ever became lost in the forest. So that made it even more compelling. I was really amazed by that. And the poem is actually called Lost, and I will share that poem with you now in its entirety. It's not very long. It's called Lost. Stand still. The trees ahead and bushes beside you are not lost. Wherever you are is called here, and you must treat it as a powerful stranger, must ask permission to know it and be known. The forest breathes. Listen. It answers. I have made this place around you. If you leave it, you may come back again, saying, here. No two trees are the same to raven. No two branches are the same to wren. If what a tree or a bush does is lost on you, you are surely lost. Stand still. The forest knows where you are. You must let it find you. And this was from a book he wrote called Traveling Light, Collected and New Poems, and it was published in 1999. And this poem is incredibly powerful, and it really resonated with the feeling that I had when I saw that tree in Bali. And it was really, to me, reading that poem was really, it just transported me back to that moment, and it inspired me to think about the perfection of the cosmos and how things are constantly flowing for the highest good. And when we think of ourselves as lost, we miss the bigger picture of the bigger play that's at work in the oneness of all things in the source. And the last sentence was, the forest knows where you are. It was like God, the universe, the pervading creative force knows where you are. You must let it find you. And that part of the poem was really just about surrendering to the moment to me and recognizing that all that you need will come to you. And there's a beauty in that, and understanding our timing is not the same as God's timing, the universe's timing, grace's timing. And when we have situations in our lives that we don't necessarily understand, that's exactly the moment to turn it over to the all-pervading force that has brought us here. And it reminds me of a poem that Rumi wrote. Love Rumi. And it was what brought me here must take me home. And that is this, to me, it's the same message. It's understanding that there's a greater force at work, and we have to be patient and open to that mysterious force that pervades, that guides all things. So I hope this gives you a little to consider. And if we, again, just shift our level of consciousness from our person, our day-to-day concerns, and recognize, just by taking a step back, this broader picture, this broader play of light, there is tremendous peace in that recognition and a release from a lot of, I think, the pressures and the stress that we feel on a day-to-day basis, and understanding that we are bigger than all of this in our truest form, and we don't need to get encumbered by these things that feel like the end of the world, because it's never the end. We're the undying. So namaste, blessings to you, and remember, just to stand still in that quiet, beautiful space, and all will come to you.